Let's dive in with the sneaky freak question of the week, which you came up with.
I did, because one of my friends said she's going through being stalked by a psycho. And I thought,
God.
I have to ask the sneaky freaks if they too have been involved with the psycho.
So the question of the week is, tell us about a time when you've dated a psycho. And just so you know, every week we start with a question for you sneaky freak listeners. If you want to participate and give us your thoughts, give us a text back at 310-356-3920. That's our number. Give us a text. We'll send you a question of the week. All right, so tell us about a time when you've dated a psycho.
Well, Cam, I decided to look up what exactly the definition of a psycho is.
Okay.
And the Urban Dictionary said the psycho is ultimately my mother.
Oh. Oh.
Thumbs up if you know your mom's crazy. This is what I have to see. Put that thumb down. Jeez.
I don't think you're crazy. Actually, I don't think you're crazy.
I'm just a little off.
I don't think you're off. You make me feel very calm, actually.
I do?
Yeah, you do. You're very comforting to me.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I also see in the Urban Dictionary.
That's sweet.
They also say a person who don't cry when Mufasa dies in The Lion King.
That is very accurate.
You know, if you don't cry when Mufasa dies, then something's wrong.
That was a very tragic moment for all of us.
And if you didn't cry, you got some issues. And then the other definition here is a deranged and or psychopathic person who is mentally ill or unstable person. See psychopath.
Did you see psychopath?
I didn't go any further around that.
I think we all know what a psycho is. It's someone you're around, you're like, what reality is this person living in?
Right. It says, the psycho says, woo hoo hoo, I'm a fucking mentally ill psycho. And me says, you fucking sound like Tigger, psycho. That's T1-double-gur. T-I-double-gur. I don't know what that means, but let's go to the Sneaky Freaks and find out what they think. Or do you want to talk about a time that you've been involved with a psycho?
When I've involved with a psycho? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been involved. I don't think I've been involved with a psycho.
Okay, well, I have.
You have?
Oh, yeah. One of the guys, I actually talked about this experience of dating this guy on one of the previous episodes. But first of all, the guy on the first date decides to pick me up in a Hummer. They're always suspect, too. If you got a Hummer, that's a suspect.
Very sus.
I literally had just met this guy. He picks me up in his Hummer, and he's like, I'm going to take you on an adventure. And he starts going off into the next state. I think it was Wisconsin. And he goes into this area where he starts off-roading the Hummer with me in it.
Oh, that is psycho behavior.
That is really
that's
psycho.
Reckless.
It's reckless. It freaked the fuck out of me.
You went out on dates with him after that?
Well, I actually went on a date where he took me to his rabbi.
What the fuck?
He wanted his rabbi's approval of dating me.
What kind of date is that? Come see my rabbi.
Yes. He said, come see it. Okay, so we went to see his rabbi, and the rabbi said, I said, what did the guy say about me? Because I thought I had a really nice conversation with this. It was like a hippie rabbi.
Okay.
This is unbelievable. I'm not sure who said this. And by the way, I was at my lowest weight ever. It was right after your dad died.
Right after my dad died, going on with a psycho?
Well, it wasn't right after. I'm saying it was one of the first dates, 6 months or whatever, 8 months later, okay?
All right.
Did not know he was a psycho, obviously. I wouldn't have gone off-roading or gone to the rabbi if I had known this. I said, what did the rabbi say about me? He said, he thought you were great, except he thought you can lose 10 pounds off your ass.
Piece of shit garbage guy. This is a psycho garbage man.
It's a psycho guy.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
It definitely was him. The rabbi's not saying, oh, she, even
a hippie rabbi wouldn't say that.
The Torah says she needs to lose some weight.
I mean, in all fairness, the rabbi was a good-looking guy.
He's not commenting on your ass.
I didn't think so either. So he's a psycho. Okay, well, that's one of the many times. I've actually dated quite a few psychos.
Really? I dated one psycho who made a date with me, and then this was in 8th grade.
8th grade psycho.
She doesn't fucking show up to the Oberweis dairy parlor.
I remember you were devastated. But why was she a psycho?
Because that's a psycho fucking move.
Yeah, that's a non-caring.
Non-caring.
She didn't cry when Mufasa died, for sure.
She did not.
Okay.
And she didn't cry when I was sitting alone in the fucking Oberweis dairy.
It was so sad.
It was.
I do remember this.
Fuck that.
Jesus.
That's a psycho behavior. You can't say, "Oh, I'm going to meet you somewhere," and then the
And
kid is in 8th grade.
it's
He gets dropped off there.
Fearless. I mean, like non-caring fearless. Like
Piece of shit. Yeah, she's a psycho.
psycho.
All right.
All right. So what do the sneaky freaks have to say about
All right, let's
psycho
start it up.
behavior?
Christian was the first to respond, actually, or the most recent response. Christian says, I once hooked up and proceeded to go on a date with a guy in that order who, while we went out for ice cream and refusing to drive for reasons I'll mention later, asked me to move in with me 30 minutes after meeting me. Psycho behavior.
Psycho behavior. And I have another story after this too now that you
But
brought
also
that up.
notice that it starts with the ice cream.
I almost just said that.
Yeah. You can't go to ice cream, I'm starting to realize.
Yeah, you go to ice cream, you're gonna ultimately end up with psychos for sure.
Christian goes on to say, after we hook up a second time, bad decision, I know, I get told the reason he can't drive is because his license got revoked due to his pending vehicular manslaughter charges.
Oh, frightening. That's what I'm scared of.
The guy fucking killed someone with his car, and then and now he can't. Oh, no.
It makes you not want to date anybody when you're.
After casually admitting to killing someone, he then proceeds to ask about how good his head game was on our date. To say the drive back to drop him off at his house was a fast one is an understatement. He continued to try to contact me afterwards, asking me to move in with me until I ghosted him and blocked him all his numbers and social media. Good move. I don't usually promote ghosting, but in this situation,
You don't promote ghosting unless it's a psycho.
In this situation, I mean, you can't reason with this. This is a little nutty.
Well, I was thinking when you were reading it, the first date, I remember meeting this guy, and I literally had met him, talked to him for 10 minutes, and he's like, I'd like to take you on a date. Where, what's your favorite place in the world to go? I go, London? He goes, that'll be our first date.
First date in London.
First date in London. I'm thinking, no. Something's off.
Something's definitely off.
Psycho.
So would you say no?
I'm like, how do you know that I don't annoy you?
Fart on the plane?
Fart on you, fart in the plane. Well, I mean, I guess he's thinking, what do you got to lose? This is also a guy who spit when he talked.